All right, welcome back, everybody, to another college football revamp stream. We're on our Iowa State Dynasty here on the college football revamp mod for NCAA 2014. We are currently, obviously, we're playing as the Iowa State Cyclones, and we are currently sitting at 4-0 in the country and number 5. So 4-0 and number 5 in the country. Got a couple little housekeeping things I want to do. Specifically, thank you to Trax, our wonderful follower, for making me check up on our depth chart, because every time I get into a game, I get going and I realize that Will McDonald is not there, but he is now, so that's good. Let's just auto reorder this just to make sure. So he's good there. Here's our kick returner. Kane is good. Punt return's good. All right, Brock's good. We are good to go. Sure, receivers look good. Yep, look good there. All right. Now, I think we're good. Pretty sure we're good in recruiting. Kind of did that last time. We're already allocated completely, so we can just go right on in. We are playing at Texas Tech, so we are going to go. Let's see, what's our usual there? I'm trying to think. We did wear red, white, gray one time, and I really liked that. And I've been meaning to do a white, white, black at some point. I've always really liked the idea of this combo with some black socks and black shoes. Sure, why not? And so then we're at Tight End City. Yeah, buddy. All right, we're good to go. Hope everybody's having a good day. Sorry for cutting anybody off guard that we're doing it Wednesday instead of Thursday. Down the Pipe is recording tomorrow night, so wasn't sure what time that was going to get over, and I wanted to make sure I could get in a stream this week. What are we doing? Defense, look at that. 13th, 1st, 9th, and 4th. Gotta like that. We're starting to catch up on passing yards. Still not doing great on rushing yards, but kind of is what it is. I don't like this game uses the primitive just total yard stats. I'm not a big fan of that. But shout out to the Cyclone women for getting a big dub tonight, 85-68 over West Virginia. Good win there on senior night.
NCAA Football 14 pregame show presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites. The Cyclones are really hitting their stride. Look, I know they have a winning streak going, but more importantly,
number 9 West Virginia, huh?
Play at a very high level. The expectations are going to rise.
All right.
They'll try to make sure their performance does the same. That's going to do it for us here on the pregame show. NCAA Football 14 action coming at you right now. Fred Nessler and Kirk Herbstreit.
Should have known they were going to. I should have checked to see if they were wearing all black.
Home to Jones Stadium.
Seems like they've worn red against us most of the last few times. Haven't seen too much black from them. Or if it's on the road, it'll be like black, white, black or something.
The teams are lined up for the
but
opening
it
kick.
is what it is.
Number 9, back deep to return.
Nice kick, plenty of distance.
Laser, yeah, this mod's great. This is so good.
Brought down at the 21.
Coming out with plenty of receivers. We'll just kind of run a cover 2 right now. Just to see
out onto the field for the first drive of the game.
See what the dealio is.
Run up the middle. White picks up about 4 yards.
What difficulty level am I on? I'm pretty sure I'm on Heisman. I could check right quick. I'm pretty sure I'm on Heisman. Settings. House rules, I suppose. I'm on All-American. Okay. We'll roll with All-American for right now.
That makes it 2nd and 6.
It's 2nd and 6. Ball on their own 25.
Ryan Vance in the middle. Tight end is open.
Gets it out quickly.
Nobody's getting that
He's
guy.
to the 40. He's taken down around the 41-yard line. What a throw for a big gain.
That is a great example of the quarterback seeing the whole field and finding the guy who had the best chance of making a catch.
Yeah, we're okay. Okay.
Number 86, the intended receiver on the play. That makes it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, we'll run the stack still. I do like that bear when we can get some pressure.
Second
Or help
down
us
and
get
10
some
to
pressure, I
go.
should say.
Ball on their own 41.
Like Rose is our blitzer. That's fine.
Quarterback in the gun. Empty backfield. 5 wide receivers in the formation.
Getting down. There we go.
They take him down immediately.
Makes the tackle. Gain of 7 on the play. That makes it 3rd and 3.
All right. I'm going to go bear. Let's bring some heat.
Man left, man left. 3 down, 3 down.
Hey, well, Mike 34, Mike 34.
Red 18! Red 18!
Yeah, good call. There we go. All right.
At the 48.
Stop him.
Nothing
I
going
like it.
there for the halfback on that option play.
4th down.
McNamara awaits the snap. They get this one off, and it's a beauty. This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback.
Got to remember, Brock Purdy does not have a great arm. Problem is when if I play Madden or something like that, like on my Ultimate Team, I know, I said I play Ultimate Team. But I have Josh Allen as my quarterback, so I have like the opposite problem.
Complete pass and hit hard as he came down with it.
Paul's the kind of guy that could end up with some national honors because right now he's leading the conference statistically.
Run read option.
So it's 2nd and 10.
See if we can get going.
Ball on the 20-yard line.
3 down.
Ooh, later.
Tackled after a decent pickup.
Call it a gain of 5 yards. That'll make it 3rd and 5.
Okay. Let me get something going in the passing game here. Couple double tight end action. Like this. Give Charlie an option route. Tariq.
Finds his man. First down. Brought down
We'll
right
hurry
around
up.
the 32-yard line.
Love to watch quarterbacks on 3rd down to just kind of see where they are as far as their psyche and their approach to the game. This is another
We're on a
big 3rd
halfback.
down.
We're on a
He's able to sit back,
okay, what are they
evaluate the
doing here?
defense, had just enough time to be able to
Running
make
the
the
blitz
throw.
again?
They pick up a 1st down. They get a new
Yeah,
set.
they are.
They go with a screen here, and the halfback's got
Reese.
it. And he's shoved out of bounds at the 41-yard line.
Gain of 9 on the play. That brings up 2nd and 1.
Okay.
Short yardage situation here. It's
On
2nd
play
down
action.
and 1.
Mike 1, Mike 1.
Probably cover 3 here, so maybe Sean Shaw. Or Charlie.
There's a strike complete. He's tackled at the 50.
He is such a reliable target. You throw it anywhere near him, and this guy's going to get his hands on it and make a catch.
It's tight. Get in here. Oh, yeah. Bench pivot. Love this one. Keep an eye on Charlie here. Or I guess it's it'd be Xavier. Okay. Keep an eye on Xavier here. Or Y, whoever that is.
Throws, and that one's going to hit the ground. Incomplete.
There's one the quarterback would
Okay.
like to rewind because he has a wide
Because I didn't
open
see if I was getting
receiver
hit, but I
who
didn't think I
misfired.
was. We're in Seattle here. Keep an eye
From
on
midfield. 2nd down.
Sean Shaw.
Fires out to his wideout.
All right.
He's tackled at about the 35.
I like the call here by the defense to bring the heat with the outside linebacker. It was just a better call by the offense, and that's why it's a first down.
Oh, yeah, this is you got Dylan Sainer in on this particular. Power O. Let's do a boot.
This
Go
is
the
the
other
8th
direction.
play of this drive.
Just so we can more natural roll out for Brock. Keep an eye on Tariq here. Or whoever that is.
Quick throw, and they make the stop around the 15-yard line.
Didn't do a hurry up.
First down.
We're on the same. Won't run the same play, obviously, but I'm thinking we're gonna go this play action read. Nah, we'll go with a run. Nice dive right up the middle. Bang! Oh
Up the
man!
middle for a nice game. Hall gets 6 yards on the play.
That'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's stick with that formation. I like that one a lot. I want to use this read option.
Here's
right
play
here.
number 10 on the drive. Tackle at about the 9-yard line.
That was my bad. I ran right into him.
Maybe a yard on the run by the tailback. They
Tight
need
end
about
spot
3
here.
yards to get the first down here on 3rd down.
Chase Allen. Tyler Kohler potentially. Chase Allen right there in the middle.
And down he goes at the 2-yard line.
Brad,
Run a
you
hurry
can
up,
really
see if we
feel
can
and
get that
sense the
same
energy
spot.
coming
I don't know if
from
we will
the
or not because
sidelines
that
right now. They know
safety's
how
right there.
important it is to pick up first
Or
downs. The coaches
we
right
just got a
now are
nice
showing the excitement that they have and yelling out the
read
next
option.
play for
Okay.
the offense.
So
But
we got
clearly,
here.
the offensive coordinator very happy about
Okay, they're
the
gonna blitz.
execution on that
So
last
we're
drive.
we're just gonna quick audible to something like this. Hopefully one of these guys is open. Chase Allen is not open.
It's a good play here in the secondary. When the safety commits, he needs to be there at the right time because he's the last line of defense.
Let's go with this and run that dive. Yeah.
They're at the 2. It's 2nd down.
Reese, there we go.
Iowa State.
All right. Oh, I don't want to go for 2.
And he tacks on the extra point.
A 13-play, 80-yard drive, and that's good for a touchdown.
All right. That easy.
And it looks like they're ready for the kickoff. He sends this one deep. He's to the 20. And down he goes at the 24-yard line.
Is it weird that I noticed the mod didn't get the state flags in the helmet right? Oh, so, well, the state flags are all the state of Iowa flag, not the individual. I don't.
Manageable shouldn't be in the.
I'm not sure if it would even be possible for them to try to individualize the state flags on the back of the helmets for each player. That'd be really difficult to do, and like, because some of the guys have country flag, like Kennedy Wangu has the Nigerian or had the Nigerian flag on the back of his helmet, if I remember correctly, and a couple guys have other ones too. So I don't even know if that option is even built into the code
From their own
of
24-yard line.
NCAA 14,
It's
where you could
2nd
even
down.
theoretically. I don't know if it maybe it's something useful is buried in the code that does the face masks. I don't know for sure. He is out. Maybe somewhere next to the face mask where you can have individual face masks for each player. But it would have really that would have been like a shocking level of detail to put in something like this to get all of these state and country flags right on the back of every helmet. Oh, that guy's open.
He airs it
Oh,
out.
that guy's also open. What the hell happened to my
Grab on the
coverage?
play. To the 10. He's pushed out of bounds around the 7-yard line.
And they just ran 4 verts, didn't they? Like your dumb asses are in cover too.
And he tackles him hard at the 1.
Okay, so now we're in a different position here. Probably just going to call something goal line and just have him, guess run and just collapse on it and see if we can get something behind the line of scrimmage. Just guess run mid.
Got to be careful of a pass play with this defense. Touchdown, Red Raiders. A short burst for the score.
That's what happens when you can win the war in the trenches down near the goal line.
Will be tied with the extra point.
For anybody that's watching,
Splits the uprights with the extra
special
point.
like sneak peek, exclusive sneak peek for you. Matthias and I had a meeting earlier tonight about
Texas Tech
some
is
YouTube
lining
content
up to
coming
kick
this
this
summer.
one off.
Some weekly stuff that you'll probably want
He'll
to.
return
That
it
should
from
be
the
pretty
3.
cool once we get it put together.
He's taken down at the 26.
I think you'll probably really enjoy it. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Can't give away too many details yet because we don't have it
7-7.
totally fleshed out yet. But some cool YouTube content coming this summer from Matthias and myself. Go play
And
action.
we welcome
We'll
you
play
back
action
to the
read
action
here.
here, and we have got a tight one going on in quarter number 2.
They've been like a couple of fighters feeling each other.
See what
out
that
so
back
far.
safety does, because
Let's see if
Tariq
they start
Milton
to
may be
open it up a
open.
little bit more now.
Nope, Charlie is. Chase. Oh no! Oh my God!
Tackle made
At about the 43-yard line.
Chase just got blasted.
Great catch by the linebacker, but
And
not
then
a
that guy
smart
just
throw
catches
from
it.
the quarterback.
It didn't look like the quarterback even saw the linebacker hanging in that area. It pays to be in the right spot at the right time.
Okay.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 43.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. 3 down. Watch 14. Run.
They'll go ground. And
There you
he's
go. Good
taken
job by
down
Ryan
at
Vance.
the 44.
Call it a loss of 1 yard on the play. That makes it 2nd and 10.
Isaiah, we are playing the college football revamped mod in NCAA 14. So not a it's not Madden. It is
Second
NCAA
down,
14,
10
which
yards
is
to
it's just a
go.
modded version
Ball on
that
the
has all the
44-yard line.
new uniforms and players and all that stuff.
Makes it out to about the 36.
Call it a gain of 8 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Third and 2. Last time I brought some heat, worked out fairly well. I think I'm going to do that again. Where's the man at? No, I
They
don't
come
want
out in a
baseline.
5-wide set.
We'll figure it out.
Quick out to his receiver. He's
Quick
taken
slant.
down at the
Gets you
20.
every time.
Gain of 16 yards. First down.
From the 20-yard line. First down.
Let's go. Red 68.
He fights forward to about the 19.
Gain of 1 yard. That brings up 2nd and 9.
Roger. Hey, go Mike 34. Mike 34.
Let's go man on the running back.
He scrambles. Now he's
Oh,
gonna
what are you
run
doing?
and
No,
watch
what's
out.
happening?
They'll
What
bring
is
him
happening?
down.
Around the 11-yard line.
That's a gain of 8 on the play. That'll make it 3rd.
Noah, he's got playing normal NCAA and he's got OU next. Oof. Run, play extra power O on offense next drive and hit Kohler and send the outside wide receiver on a streak. One of them should be wide open. I'll have to take a look at it.
And here's
Assuming you're
another
talking
third
about
down.
in that wing thing with Dylan Sainer that I've got.
Now he's scrambling.
I
Sit
think
down.
offensive
Damn.
coordinators spend more time focusing on 2
Alan
areas.
Bowman deciding
Third
to
down
grow a pair.
conversions and red zone offense. right now this offensive coordinator has to be really happy with the way this offense is executing in their third down. That's the second time they've been able
One of
to get a
these,
first
but then I'm
down
going
with
to
stride on
set
third down.
First down, and they've got
Ryan
their eyes
Vance
on that
as
goal
a
line.
spy. The play is Lawrence White. Oh, come on! I jumped the route even. Oh no! Oh.
It's the 9th play.
I don't know if I love cover 1. We're just gonna go cover 2.
Check 4, check 4.
Let's go! Black 90! Black 90!
They cut up the middle for a nice run.
They get about 6 yards on the option to the halfback.
That makes it 3rd and goal.
We're just gonna
the
jump
10th
it again
play of
and
this
hope
drive.
for the best.
They put everyone up on
Just
the
kidding,
line.
we're not doing that. Actually, probably should have.
They'll drop him for a loss.
All right.
They'll lose
Well, them
a
do a
yard
field
on
goal in that
quarterback
situation. I
keeper.
feel pretty good about it.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
This should be an easy field goal.
Run safe, man, just in case Texas Tech decides to get wonky.
It's up, and they tack on 3 points.
And you got to think they're pretty happy with holding them to a field goal right there.
Texas Tech lines up for the kickoff. He just drills this one.
Kane?
30.
Oh, someone blocked the
Gets
damn
hit out of
kicker.
bounds at the 38. And that right there was a pretty good kick return.
All right, that'll work. Big kick return by Kane. See if that leads to a touchdown here. I want to try to find that one. I don't remember which. I don't remember what formation it was in, but there was a play action. Just flip post.
Sure the
There's a
quarterback
play
would love
action
to make
inverted
amends for that
veer
last pick.
that
One
I hit
general
for a
rule
big
in any
big
game
play
is to
against
hold
Texas
on to the ball.
in the last
If
game.
you're in the negative in the turnover department, your chances of winning decrease exponentially.
We're
He's
gonna
under some heat.
truck it.
And he has it on the corner.
Nope.
He's out of bounds
All right,
around the
good enough.
43-yard line.
I'd like to find that inverted veer. That was a really nice play. And those seem to work out really well. But I don't remember what formation it was in, which is a huge bummer. Some motion verticals is interesting, though.
From the 43-yard line. First down.
Running zone. Brees really could be open here.
Fires quick
Oh,
to open.
come
Man,
on,
he dropped
Brock.
it.
You can't throw off your back foot like that for no reason at all.
Receiver on the play.
It's wide open.
That makes it 2nd and 10.
This ISO Poco is interesting. Charlie on that post corner, or Tariq. Either one. Bang.
And he's hit before he can go
All
anywhere.
right.
Call it a gain of 21 yards. That makes it 1st and
Guy
10.
had no idea what was going on. Clear out's
From the
interesting.
22-yard line. It's first down.
Charlie could be open. If this is they're running cover 3 with a blitz. Let's. You know, actually, I'm okay with it. Let's see. Because Charlie's going to be open.
Zips it
Charlie,
to the tight
in
end.
there, get in there. That's a touchdown.
Cyclones.
Hey, there it is. She trips over or something like that. Okay, I'll check for that for the inverted veer.
That's a positive
Got in
for
there
the
though. That's a
passing
good
game.
play by Charlie. Had a
It was
couple big catches that
absolutely
drive.
the right call in that situation.
And he converts the extra point. So a 4-play, 62-yard drive.
All
And
right.
they get it in for 7. So the score now, 14-10.
The kicker looks like he's ready to kick this one off. He'll return it from the 4-yard line. He's got the corner.
Oh, Arnold Ozuna, you son of a gun.
He's tackled at the 44-yard line.
Well, this is a very competitive game. Just when you think one team has gained the advantage or the momentum, the other team comes fighting back, and it's going back and forth. This is almost like a basketball game.
Run with some nickel.
In a game that's this close, you can't
Run,
afford
man.
to waste possessions.
They're going to be throwing here for sure.
Mike 34, Mike 34.
I think I'm offsides. Oh, there's Anthony Johnson.
And he is
There we go.
at the
Got that
45-yard
turnover.
line.
I
Not
like
a
it.
good decision there. Why do you even throw that pass?
Well, it's a good job by the corner of sitting back and reading the quarterback's eyes. Good job of disguising coverage as well.
Let's try trips over and see if there's anything in there. Let's see anything in there for that inverted veer. I don't know. We're going to find it at some point. I don't know when, but we're going to find it. Little twin tight end slot. Hey, well, there's the inverted veer, but I want the play action inverted veer. Yeah, we're on read option.
From their own 45-yard line. First down. Iowa State is up 4. He gets out to about the 48-yard line.
Hey, when the read option guy is at the corner all the way out there, because they never bite on the running back. And even if they do, you can't do anything with that. It actually could be in this big flip. Now that I think about it, there's a lot of cool ones in this. There's a lot of cool plays in this particular. And it's not in this one, but I like this slant attack. This slant attack play is really cool. Got Chase Allen coming across right here on a slant, and Charlie Kohler right there.
Caught out of the open. Brought down at the 28-yard
I am
line.
playing on
Giants
All-American
can really
difficulty.
be a wild card in any offense. Sometimes the defense are a little bit confused on how to handle them.
Hello.
First and 10.
There it is.
Ball on the 28.
That's the one I wanted. That's the one I hit. That's the one I burned Texas for last week. So I'm going to throw an interception on this time. Should have thrown a lob pass for no
Linebacker
damn
here
reason.
does a good job with his instincts and getting in the path of the receiver. Boy, what a great
Play too much Madden. It's totally different than this game.
Get this, boy. You think you gonna get this? You think you gonna get this? 34's the mic. 34's the mic.
Oh, screen.
Short over the middle. He's tackled around the 26-yard line.
That's good for a gain of 8 yards. That makes it 2nd and 2.
So it's 2nd down and about 2 yards to go.
3 down. Hey, check Mike 34. Mike 34. Black 55. Black 55. Hut, hut.
Fires incomplete.
The ball
All right.
just sailed on him, and he knows it. He'll get it next time.
I was concentrating patiently on the play clock to see what was going to happen there. I was trying to jump it with Will McDonald, and I messed it up. We're not running cover 2 again because they burned cover 4.
So it's 3rd down and they've got about 2 yards to go.
Check 4.
Really? Tech hasn't taken a snap from under center in like what
Can't
the
wrap him
hell?
up.
Oh no! No way!
He's to the 40.
No way!
He's at midfield.
What is happening?
Inside
Get him,
the
Datron.
20. He finally goes down. At the
Oh, and of
9-yard
course there's
line.
1
And they
second
convert
left.
on 3rd down.
Big play here.
Do I think
for the
Shuck will
offense.
start
It
for
all
Tech
starts
next season?
up
Oh, he's
front.
easily
The line
he's
did a good
easily
job
the best
sealing
quarterback on
blocks
that
and
roster.
allowing the ball carrier to almost break it there.
It's 1st down, and they'll be looking for 6 points here. Kicks up, and the field goal is good. Folks, that's the end of the first half, and this game's getting interesting. 14-13, Iowa State.
All right.
Welcome back to the action.
That was disappointing into that half.
Just about set to begin. We got a tight game here.
See if we can't get another good return with Kane.
Across the 30.
Get going. Damn, I don't know who got in my way there, but they ruined that return. All right.
So we're just about ready to return to action.
We're on a halfback screen here because they're sitting in a zone.
Flips it middle to the running back.
Brees.
And he's tackled at the 46-yard line.
That's good for a gain of 10 yards. That'll make it 2nd and inches.
All right. So it was in big flip. Or no, it wasn't. It was in normal Y flex. But I like to slide.
So it's 2nd down, and they're only about a foot away from picking up the first down.
So we're going to run it.
Tackle around the
block that guy.
line. First down, picked
It's all right.
by the tailback.
You good
See
there?
how comfortable this guy is with that football in his arms.
Ah, yes, this Buck Reed option that has all these pulling guards. This is an interesting one. And then nobody home to defend Brock.
He's at the 40, and they push him out at the 37.
Love it. That play would be filthy against if someone was lining up in man.
That makes it 1st and 10.
Run dagger.
From the 37-yard line.
Probably look
First
for
down.
Xavier here. Oh, well, or Tariq, depending on what that safety does. Xavier. Yep.
Quick strike to the receiver, and down he goes at the 21-yard line.
That's good for a gain of 16 yards. First down.
This motion play action dive should be.
From the 21-yard line.
I think Sean
first
Shaw is
down.
probably going to get open. Sean Shaw or Tariq Milton will get open here. Oh,
There's a play
good block
fake.
from Brees.
And he's level
Tried to
at the 39.
throw it away.
Man, as an offensive lineman, this is the worst
All right.
thing you want to see. Is your quarterback not only getting sacked, but getting hit like that.
Tried throwing it away.
Those linemen better pick that quarterback up and start doing a better job of taking care of it.
So the
We'll go
sack
4
makes
verts
this
for
a
no
2nd
reason
and
at all.
long. Iowa State up a point.
See what Xavier looks like, maybe. Oh, Charlie's open.
Tosses
Charlie's
across
always
the middle
open.
to his tight end.
All right.
Touchdown saving.
Got it right
tackle,
back.
But it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
All right.
That makes it 1st and goal.
Run this X-ISO Poco again and see if Charlie's going to be open on that little. Yeah. If he's going to be open on that, which he is.
Fires quickly to the
Touchdown.
tight end. Touchdown. He makes the PAT.
All right.
7-play, 64.
We can get a stop or a turnover here and then get a score and give a full two-score lead. I'll feel
Looks like they're ready for the kick.
pretty good. Texas Tech has largely been the Texas Tech has largely been the beneficiary up to this point of some really bad luck or some
Carter
really
takes it
good
from the
luck.
6.
Who do I think will start at right tackle this year? I would assume Joey Ramos will. Well, he could start. He might start left tackle. It wouldn't surprise me, I guess, if Jake Remsburg was still there, since he got since Jake Remsburg was got a lot of time there last year. It wouldn't surprise me if he was there. But they could put Joey Ramos there, which is kind of the position they kind of originally envisioned for him.
D-line did a good job of nullifying out the
But
blocks up front,
they could put
and
Joey
that
Ramos
allows
on the left
linebacker
tackle
to
and then
roam
put maybe
free
Grant
and make the
Schreiber
tackle in the backfield.
at the right tackle. They could put Jake Remsburg there. They've got a lot of different guys they could put there, but I think Jake Remsburg would be a good option. Played pretty well in that spot last year. and he's got lots of starting experience. After Ramos went down earlier in the season, so I would definitely not have any issue seeing Jake Remsburg in that spot. But Grant Triber is a guy that I've heard a bunch out of the Iowa State camp saying that he's a really nice player. So I have no reason to doubt that. So I think there's a good chance he could get in there. But I think at this point in time, I would say it's probably Jake Remsburg to lose, just because he's got all that starting experience from last year. But it really could go anywhere. Baylor, no. Yes, got there, fumble. All right.
They work on ripping the ball away all week in practice. He got a hand in there and just knocked it free.
Just right through that dude. Later.
McNamara is the punter. He really got a hold of that one. Brought down
That's right.
at the 41.
Not great, but not bad either. As long as your main priorities are not turning the ball over and establishing solid field position, then you're headed in the right direction.
And here comes the offense again. They'll try to make
What are your
2
thoughts on Iowa
touchdowns
State's
in 2
record for
possessions.
this coming
So
season?
much of the
I talked a little bit about
passing
it
game
last
is
week,
about between
but
the quarterback
if-
and his wide receiver.
basically to
Right
kind
now
of
with
sum it up
this
so I'm not
offense,
regurgitating
they are
everything I said
insane
last time.
and really
I
timing
think
and
a perfectly reasonable prediction would be 9-3 or 10-2. If you want to be on the optimistic side of reasonable, 11-1 is, you could totally, there's a good case to be made for 11-1.
Second down.
I'm not going to say 12-0 because there's a lot of things have to go your way to go 12-0, and Oklahoma's obviously still on the schedule. But it's a game that it's not a game that they can't win. I think 8-4 would still be acceptable. You still wouldn't like it, but 8-4 would be acceptable depending on the circumstances, like if there was any injuries or things like that. 7-5 would definitely be a colossal disappointment, I think. All right, we're looking for probably Sean Shaw or Tariq Milton here, potentially Xavier, just depending on kind of what everybody does here. Not really anybody right now.
Just throws this one away.
Nothing clicking there. Let's see if they can make a few adjustments
Okay, that
before
was
their
not
next series.
ideal, but I think I'm still going to go for it. There's a lot of good plays for this type of situation, and I'm going to use 4 verts, but I'm going to,
So they're
instead
gonna
of
go
sending
for it here.
Sean Shaw deep,
This is kind of a
I'm
surprising
gonna
call
bring
right
him
here by
on
the
a
coach.
curl.
This is an obvious punting situation.
should be. Oh, he doesn't go far enough. In NCAA 14 doesn't have the smart route, but that's okay. I think Charlie Kohler will be open.
Looks over the middle.
Ooh, what is, you got a freaking ninja playing middle linebacker. What the hell?
They'll bring him down at the 32-yard line. Good job to pick that ball off.
He did a great job at getting in that passing lane and coming away with the ball.
Even threw it upfield.
We've got a 1st and 10. Ball on the 32-yard line. Fires out to his receiver.
Get him.
Knocked out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Makes the catch, and he's got nowhere to go.
That's a gain of 3 on the play.
Okay.
That makes it 2nd and 8.
Been running cover 2. Or, well, it was a cover 3, I suppose. We're going to run some cover 2 here.
2nd and 8. Ball on the 11.
Go down.
Gets 6 yards after taking it himself on the option.
That'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Let me go to that bear. Yeah, something like that. Maybe bring just a little
It's
heat.
third down, and they're about 2 yards shy of the sticks. They'll spread the field with 5 wide.
Do something like that.
Quick throw
Wide
out to
open.
the receiver. Touchdown, Texas Tech.
I'm going to go for 2.
He stepped up and threw a touchdown pass to his wideout.
Yep, good job of protection, and the quarterback spotted his
they're
man.
going for 2. Okay.
No doubt with this call, they
They'll
need
cover
the
2
2,
man.
and they are going for it.
I generally prefer man in these situations. We'll put a spy on that guy.
They don't get it.
All right.
A 4-play,
Now.
31-yard drive, but they just
Right,
get
take
6
care of the
points
ball.
after failing to convert for
We're
2.
going to move it down the field. Would you be open on sharing your thoughts on the ISU men's basketball team head coach position? Also, thoughts on the United States women winning against WVU tonight. Well,
And it looks
for the
like
win,
they're ready for the
for the
kickoff.
women, I mean, it's a pretty impressive win. I mean, they
Drills this
pretty much took care of them the whole game, and was never in doubt really. It was a good win for the seniors.
He's to the 20.
I don't know if there's necessarily a lot to
The Red
elaborate on.
Raiders
Just thought they
have
played really well.
surprised everybody in this football game.
They have not been
But,
intimidated at all.
the-
attitude and effort of this team.
As far as the men's team goes,
shot to win this game here in the second half.
this is now.
Interception cut this offense
Just keep in mind, this is my
short.
personal
So I think
opinion.
they're
I
gonna
don't
be
have
looking
any
for a
inside
little
scoop on
success
anything.
right here.
It has been very quiet from the athletic director's office and all that from the university.
And he's taken down.
Haven't heard a peep. So this is purely my opinion, my conjecture.
Hang on tight, folks. We head to the fourth quarter.
In
It
my
could be a
opinion,
shocker. 21-19.
I have not seen
Cyclones.
anything this season, or really over the last couple seasons,
Back to
that
the
would
action
warrant
here. Tight ball
Steve
game in the fourth
Frome
quarter.
keeping his job.
Iowa
and I
State
think-
with a 2-point advantage.
And I mean,
There we go.
the tricky part is nobody wants to see
Gets
Steve
out to
Frome get
around the
fired. I mean, he's
45.
a really good guy, does things the right way, just doesn't win football games, unfortunately, or doesn't win basketball games, unfortunately. But
First and 10.
at that same time, and I know,
45-yard line.
you're looking, especially this point in the season, you're looking for reasons to keep him. You're like, is there hope somewhere? Is there
He's
a
taken
way
down
we
at
can
the
justify
47.
keeping him? And
That makes it 2nd and 2.
maybe you look at the Baylor game last night and you say, they played pretty well against a really good team. They played hard, but I'm not a huge fan. Generally speaking, I don't like the idea of rewarding people for basically for doing their job.
And they make the stop around
The bare minimum,
44-yard line.
like the absolute bare minimum of what a Division I, Power 5, Power 6 college basketball team should be doing is showing effort, and they finally
From the
did that
44-yard
over the last
line.
couple of games. Anyway,
First
they
down.
played fairly hard, but I just can't see a reality in which Steve Frome keeps his job and the Iowa State fan base is still enthusiastic. But I mean, do you think he can? Does anybody think is there a reason to believe that next year will be better? I mean, yeah, you've got a couple good recruits. You've got a couple good recruits coming in, or Tyrese Hunter, anyways. But is that enough? Is that going to take Iowa State to the promised land? I don't know. I don't think. I mean, I think there's talent on the roster. Can Steve Frome take advantage of that talent?
Be a little bit more patient in the pocket. That
I'm
way
not
he can
inclined to
allow his
believe he
receivers
can.
To get downfield a little bit before he throws it.
I look at this team this season, and I see a team that probably should have won a few games, 3, 4, maybe 5 games in conference play, and may have with a better X's and O's coach. But they don't have one. They don't have a better X's and O's coach.
To maybe the 39-yard line.
And that's just kind of the deal is if you can't watch your team and think this team would be better with a different coach, I mean, I think that's kind of your answer. And right now, I can't watch Iowa State and say this team is maxing out, this team is the best as they can be. I'm not seeing any of that. And that's a huge, huge issue.
Wide out makes
Hung
the
on to it,
first
that's
down
good.
catch.
Um,
Down at
I look at the X's and O's. Obviously, the X's and O's are a problem. We see the inbounds plays are almost always a mess. I've complained about the offensive sets for basically since he started, just the lack of ball movement. Iowa State is like, if they're one of the worst assist teams in the in major college basketball. I mean, for a long time, Iowa State was like the team that led college basketball in assists, basically. And now they just don't. I mean, they're so far below. They've had like 3 or 4 games now this season. I think 4 now this season where they've gotten single-digit assists as a team. That's not acceptable. It's just not. And then I look at it from another perspective of like player development. And I look at a guy like Solomon Young, who was amazingly one of Prome's first freshmen that came in. He's been here the whole time. And I look at a guy like him and see a guy that, in my opinion, has really not gotten much better since day one. Since day one, he was kind of an okay inside scorer and probably kind of a not as good a rebounder as you would hope he would be. And it's just kind of where he's at now. George Condit is playing a little bit better recently, but has been really bad for the most part this season. Is basically the same player he was when he stepped on campus. And so I see the lack of player development, and I see lack of X's and O's. I mean, yeah, the guys pulled in some good players, but I don't see that as being enough, especially when you're 2-16 on the season. I just can't see it. But to move on, who would you want to see as the next men's coach? That's an interesting question. That's something we're going to be touching on, and we're in anticipation of Steve Prohm being fired this year. We are currently building a list of candidates that we would like to see be interviewed anyways. It's our own research. It's not leads on anything like who I think it will be. None of that, just our opinion.
Nice stop by the
Texas Tech's going to take their first
I'd like to see Craig Smith from Utah State. Would be a really good. I think would be a really great option. Unfortunately, he just locked up a contract extension, which doesn't necessarily mean Iowa State can't get him, but it means he's going to be harder to get. Charlie, he ran backwards.
Texas Tech's going to have to use their second time out of the half.
Porter Moser from Loyola is an interesting option. Definitely good X's and O's guy. He clearly took him to the Final Four a few years ago. One thing with him is that Iowa State fans that will have to adjust is you'll have to adjust to a completely different style of play. Porter Moser would basically turn Iowa State into like Virginia Light. Lockdown defense, slow tempo on offense. Efficient, but very, very slow. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to kick the field goal. I don't like this, but this should be an easy field goal. This is what we're going to do.
Kicks away, and it's sailed. Time for an update from the studio. Reese, what have you got?
I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Winthrop has got a pretty good coach. He's young. He's been there for he's like 38, and he's been there for like 10 years now or something like that. He's been there for a long, long time. He's been really good for Winthrop. UNC Greensboro is another one. He's got a good, their coach is good. I apologize for not knowing their names here. But there also is the argument, there's a discussion to be had about, does it make sense to keep going for these small coaches, these small school coaches, or do you try to get an assistant from a larger school, from like a Blue Blood or something like that. One guy that I heard brought up, and credit to Larry for bringing him up, he's a Michigan State offensive assistant. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but I probably will like tomorrow when I don't need to know it. Get there? Okay. Let's see if I can look him up real quick. Oh, just kidding. We're running hurry up. I'll do it after the game. But he's an interesting guy. He's only like 46 or something like that. But he's been an assistant under Tom Izzo for 16 years now. and he's their head of player development, and he's one of their main recruiters. And when I think of like a program that Iowa State probably should emulate is from a recruiting / player development standpoint, I think Michigan State is a great template to follow, where they can still, they still pull in good recruits. I mean, they're still Michigan State, but they're not pulling in the same kind of one and dones like Duke and North Carolina and Kentucky and all these or whatever. But Michigan State has a really, really good track record of developing good players and with longer careers. And I think if that is the model that this guy would follow at Iowa State, I think that's extremely encouraging.
Quick throw, incomplete.
Good break up there. I'd love to see something like that. Now I don't think he's never been a head coach, so that's obviously a point of concern. That's what you get if you try to hire an assistant from somewhere else. But I think that I like that the idea of that as an option. It's something that I think would be interesting. I don't think people know him as a coach very well. Like I don't think people know his name. But it's certainly a guy that I think we as a site, wide right, we would definitely hype him up. I think we'd be very excited as a site to have him. The name that everybody seems to be throwing out with this job is TJ Otzelberger. So TJ is an interesting one.
And he's hit immediately.
The problem with what I see with TJ
After a play like that, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if they went to the air again.
He went to South Dakota State and was good with Mike Daum, who's a really, really good player.
It's second down now.
And then he lost Mike Daum, and they weren't that good. And now he's at UNLV,
in the fourth quarter.
and they're not that good. So I don't know. I guess I'm not as sold on him as a head coach as I would have been a few years ago. I mean, he basically, we would schematically, X's and O's wise, we'd probably be back to where Fred was. Just because, TJ Otzelberger kind of really cut his teeth under Fred. There we go. Who got to him? Zach Peterson? Nice. But I don't know. I'm not as sold on him as I used to be.
The spike will stop the clock.
It's just tough. As far as bringing Fred Hoiberg back, I don't know. Obviously, we know the X's and O's are there. We know the player development is there. I think he would hire good recruiters. I think he could. Recruiting would be fine. He would have to find a different model to follow than the first time, because the transfer model is not, like, just basically owning the transfer market is obviously not going to be sustainable this time around. Got him.
Well, a lot of frustration by that offense, but you've got to give the defense credit for coming up with a stop in this quarter.
We're going to run something, same thing.
He throws right.
No, he's out of bounds.
And they'll fail on
okay.
fourth down.
But as far as Fred goes, I mean, from what I understand is there may be a little bit of bad blood there between him and Jamie, mostly obviously from Jamie for Fred leaving early. If I'm not going to say it's impossible, just because I think the ceiling at Nebraska, as far as a program, I think the ceiling is just so low.
And this is what this game has come down to.
Not that they don't have facilities and all that, and there is some local talent, but man, there's just no tradition to lean on. There isn't like obviously Iowa State's got Hilton Coliseum that they can recruit with. They can say, look at us, we've got Hilton, we've got all this, we've got the fan support and all that. There's a lot more to sell at Iowa State than there is Nebraska. It's just got to matter if Fred wants it, if Fred wants to come back, and if Jamie wants him back. That's the whole deal. That's all of it. Who is my most underrated basketball and football player in Iowa State history? That's a good one. So for context, I am 28, so my extensive knowledge of, like, my deep knowledge of players goes back to about 2000. I mean, I know of the better players from previous years. But it would be harder for me to find a deep cut on the old roster or something like that. But I think generally, for the most part, I think a lot of the players that would come out of this type of question would probably be from that 2000 on.
Come out on top, 24-19.
Most underrated football player. One guy that I really liked growing up that I thought didn't get enough credit was. See, I don't know. It's hard. Do you say underrated in the context of kind of how we view them, in the context of the team they played on? Because like one of my favorite guys growing up, one of my favorite football players growing up, that people don't necessarily always think of as a really good player, but he played on some good teams, but they're not, obviously weren't the caliber of the teams we have now, is Nick Mosier. He was a safety, really hard hitter, a lot of fun to watch. I always really appreciated Nick Mosier. For a guy like right now, like an underrated guy on like the current football team, which I mean I think is where you're probably going to find your best hidden gems. Most underrated player on the current team is probably Jake Hummel, who I think people, Iowa State fans, I think generally know how good he is. But I don't think many people outside of Iowa State know how good he is. I mean, he is really. I mean, you sub out Mike Rose to put in Jake Hummel, and you really don't lose anything. I mean, I think Mike Rose is the better linebacker, but you don't lose anything by putting Jake Hummel in his spot. Jake Hummel is wildly underappreciated outside of the Iowa State circle, and even maybe a little underappreciated within the Iowa State circle, just because he kind of gets overshadowed by Mike Rose. Basketball player, most underrated basketball player. Again, that's kind of like the football question. A guy that I always enjoyed watching growing up was Jared Holman and Damian Staple, both of them. But I'll say Jared Holman. He was a lot of fun to watch. He hustled, played good defense. He was always a really passionate guy. Always really liked Jared Holman. Of recent, a guy that I think underrated basketball player, just of the kind of the recent, Hoiberg, Prom eras. I mean, I would say honestly, of the recently, Jake Anderson from Fred Hoiberg's first team was a really good player. He was on a bad team, or a team that didn't win a lot of games, I should say. Lawrence Downing, he's one of our one of our Iowa recruits. He was a guy. He's a really, really good rebounder, especially for his size. I really liked watching him play. He was a really good player. Just didn't play on a team that didn't win a lot of games. So I'll go Jake Anderson actually for my basketball player. He was really good. We're running away with that one. Anything here where we really need to kind of push forward? Got some slim. We haven't even offered these guys scholarships. Screw it. We'll offer them both scholarships. Why not? Well, we got to get a kicker, so we're gonna put that in there. John Joseph guy seems interesting. We should go through and get rid of our hopeless cases. I love that we're leading for a 4-star receiver out of Alabama. We're just trashing Alabama in second place in this recruiting battle. I love it. Yeah, we're pretty far behind on this guy. Man, I just don't see us coming back there or there. Can't believe a 5-star athlete's just running away with Northwestern. I don't think we even have a visit scheduled. I'm gonna call it on Jordan Fenner. I'm gonna call it on that one. Got some nice prospects coming in though. Lots of 4-stars. Good defensive tackle there. 4-star running back. 4-star D end. I like it. Let's go after that other receiver though. That's 71 overall. Where was he at? So Adam Rooney. Let's see. There's John Joseph. We're gonna get him a scholarship. I'm gonna scout him too. See if he goes up or down or anything. Ooh, I don't like that. He just went down. Got 92 speed though. 92 speed is something you can work with. Got B speed. I want to see if any of these have if any of these are like hidden gems. 65 kick accuracy. Hilarious. I mean, I don't punt, so I don't really feel the need to go spend a bunch of points on a kicker, or on a punter, I should say. So Will Hicks could be a good option. All right. I like where we are at with that. All right. I think we're good there. Pretty sure we don't have anybody in the Heisman Watch. Nope. Khalil Herbert. All right. I think we're about ready to go with this. Trying to think if there's anything else I was going to look at. Oh yeah, I was going to look at XP goals to see how close we are to leveling up. Ain't been that far away. No, not that close. If we win any of these, that'll help pull us up there. But we are not that close. 2,000 national championship. Any of these like big hitters shut out an opponent. All right, so we are up against Baylor now. Up to number 3 in the nation at 5-0. All right, we are at Baylor. Thinking. Black now. We'll go white. We'll just go white, right, red. That's a good classic road combo for Iowa State. We'll go with the all-white shoes. We'll keep those gloves. Thoughts on kicker this year, in my opinion. The Anasali might not cut it anymore. He's made some big kicks in his career with man consistency and a big leg. So we've talked about this a little bit on Down the Pipe with Cole Netton, who obviously knows his stuff with kickers. And in my opinion, you keep Connor Sally 40 and inside of 40. I think you feel pretty good with Connor Sally. I would say beyond that, you're looking at one of the new guys. And yeah, I would say beyond that, you're looking at one of the new guys. Hopefully, one of them can do kickoffs, and hopefully one of them with their big leg can put one in between the uprights. That's really all there is to it.
We're just off I-35 at beautiful Floyd Casey Stadium, awaiting these teams.
We're at the old Floyd Casey Stadium. Keep an eye out for the tarp. We're going to get the ball first in this one. There's the tarp.
Baylor is getting fired up down there as they get ready to boot this opening kickoff. Nice kick, plenty of distance.
May the tarp live forever.
And he's going to call for a fair catch. Iowa State staff and their fans have heard all week long their quarterback's going to play terribly on the road.
Let's try not to throw interceptions with Brock Purdy.
I think this staff really has rallied this entire team around some of that negative talk. And I think they believe in their guy, that he can go on the road and make the plays and lead them to a big victory. Sometimes when you hit some adversity like that, you see teams circle the wagons. And I really believe this week they've done a great job of doing that.
Are you kidding me right now?
The 10. He's all the way home. Touchdown.
All right, well, that could not have started any worse. Part of me knew I shouldn't have thrown that, but part of me also thought it would be led outside a little bit farther. So.
And he converts the extra point. Let's get an update now.
All right.
Reese Davis.
The Cardinals
Is an Alabama as a Bama fan with the downfall of safety, he doesn't give a scholarship to a good kicker. Yeah, that's you'd think with as many 5 stars as they've got piled in,
Excellent kick.
As they've got piled into that roster, you would think they'd probably find one spot for a kicker because Alabama's had really bad kickers for a long time. All right, we're not going to do that again.
So
try
the
this read
offense will
option.
come back out onto the field, hoping for a little better result than that last pick six.
This quarterback needs to be
That guy's the
more
read?
careful because this defense is excellent on capitalizing off of mistakes.
Tackle made at the 32. Great job by the running back. And that's
Let's
a
see. I
gain
agree
of
with you. Also,
9.
big thing is obviously not every kick can be expected to be a touchback. However, the amount of times we would have momentum and give up a big return was awful. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But if you there's some of these guys, man. These new freshmen are coming in.
Short yardage
Getting to
situation
we may
here.
have a guy on the roster where you can start legitimately expecting touchbacks nearly every kick. One of them canned I believe he hit a 64-yard field goal in high school. And if you watch his tape, I mean, most of his kickoffs are going 5 yards out of the back of the end zone every time. Even fortunately, a high school field is exactly the same length as a college field, so there's no reason to believe that he can't do that in college too. Why? Why? Just throw it in front of him. He was open. He was wide open. He just could not throw it in front of him. Damn it, Brock.
That's their second pick of the half.
What is happening?
This offense has to stop making mistakes. These turnovers
Terrible.
are putting pressure on their defense to make stops, and it's hard to win when you're always giving the ball away.
This might be a
Up 7 points.
throw 3 interceptions in the first half, come back with the greatest half of your life type of situation against Baylor again.
He's taken down at the 22-yard line.
He is such a reliable target. You throw it anywhere near him, and this guy's going to get his hands on it and make a catch.
From the 22-yard line. First down. He might not be able to get the pass off. Strike to his receiver. No
Starting to
good.
think that
Sometimes the
anything
toughest throws to make for a quarterback
anything
is when he
outside
has
the
a
numbers
wide
is just
receiver
useless in this
wide
game.
open, and everybody in the stands is saying, throw
Out
it,
routes are just
throw it.
dookie.
And you aim the
That was a
football
slant, but it was
instead of
already on
just
the other
getting
side of the
back
field,
in rhythm, stepping and throwing. And that
Man.
time he aimed the ball and it was incomplete.
Horrible.
Here's the halfback on the screen. Brought down at the 16-yard line.
All right. We need to get our shit together.
Makes the tackle at the 16-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and 4.
So it's 3rd down now, and they're going to need about 4. Throws it out there.
No way.
It's
Okay.
incomplete.
Number 21 was the intended.
But to sum up what I was talking about before, this horrible series, I think the days of us being frustrated about not getting
Baylor
kickoff
is hoping to make
touchbacks
this a
are
two-score
probably
game.
over. Sorry, what do we think about Notre Dame not wanting to be in the new game unless their players get paid? So the deal was that they said Notre Dame said they didn't want to be an EA Sports new college football game unless name, image, likeness rules or laws were already passed at that point in
He
time.
just drilled this one.
I think it's pretty silly because EA has already come out a bunch of different times.
At the 26. Baylor's defense is playing
They've already come
quite
out a bunch of different
simple
times saying that they are if NIL rules come in play, they are totally ready to do something with that. And they're excited to work with that type of thing. So really what Notre Dame is doing, and I don't like it, is they are essentially trying to tell Notre Dame to try to leverage whatever sort of sway they have with politicians to try to force through NIL laws. Notre Dame would be telling EA Sports to try to use some leverage to try to get some name, image, and likeness laws. I think name, image, and likeness laws are coming very soon. There's a lot of states that have already proposed them. Oh, look at that, an out route that worked.
And he's taken down at about the 43-yard
They're coming.
line.
I don't think it'll be an issue. But I mean, in the end, people are still going to buy the game without Notre Dame. If Notre Dame's on it, people are still going to buy the shit out of that game. And Notre Dame needs to realize that they do not have the leverage in that situation. Notre Dame not being in that game is not going to prevent one soul from buying that game. They'll be like, well, that's all right. You just can't play. Notre Dame fans will still buy that game. They won't say, oh, Notre Dame's not in it, so I'm not going to get it. They're going to say, oh, I'll just have to play with somebody else. That's what they're going to say. And Notre Dame needs to realize that. They need to realize that they have very little leverage there. Obviously, EA would like to have Notre Dame in there as one of the biggest brands in college football. But they don't have the leverage that they think they do. And frankly, I find it almost kind of annoying. And it just kind of is what it is. Game's getting made with that. The game's getting made with or without him. And that's just what it is. Where do we go with this?
Throws it to the halfback on the screen, and they push him out.
So,
41.
yeah.
Hall picks up about 4 yards with the catch.
That makes it 2nd and 6.
We're on a play action
From
read
the
here.
41-yard line, it's 2nd down.
Just kidding, I'm going to run it.
Up the middle for a nice gain. So with that run, they pick up another first.
It's a nice job again up front by the offensive line. They're doing a good job of
We've been doing Q&A for most of this stream, so if anybody's got anything any questions they want me to answer, I'm more than happy to do so. Either on Twitch or on YouTube, either one. Oh, they're playing a lot of guys back. Get him around.
Nice run to the outside. Hall picks up about 7 yards on the run.
Come on, hurry up.
That'll bring up 2nd and 3.
Get out. Ready. Wide 80.
He fights forward to about the 26. A 1-yard gain by the halfback.
This junior corner's been progressively improving his run defense. He's better at diagnosing those plays now, and he knows how to bring a guy down.
So it's 3rd down, and they've got about 2 yards to go. In the shotgun and 5 wideouts.
We'll do this. Hopefully see if that corner comes up and messes with it. Oh man, that was almost terrifying.
I'd like to see them roll the dice here and go for it. If you can't,
we're gonna go for it.
Let your defense go to work with a long field behind them.
Just a good read option here would be good. Yep, just like that.
Down, and they're going to try to go for it.
Perfect. Nobody on the outside. Bam. Right there. Rock Purdy right at the middle. Stiff arm him. We're good.
With a 1st and goal. So he keeps it, and he gets a big
I like that Kene Nwangwu was in the game there.
Made a very good decision here not to pitch. He saw a break.
They're not stopping the run, so as far as I'm concerned, we're going to keep running the damn ball until they decide to stop it. They did that time, then. All right.
There are a lot of players in the college game that can make something happen when the blocking breaks down.
Who is your least favorite Big 12 coach in football and basketball? For me, it's Scott Drew and his ridiculous-ass timeout calls. Football, it's easily Gundy. Basketball, I've actually grown to like Scott Drew quite a bit. I think he's a really, really good coach. Least favorite in college, least favorite is probably... I don't know if I really have a least favorite necessarily. I think the Big 12 has a lot of good coaches and a lot of really good people as coaches. Oh man, he was open.
This quarterback needs to be careful not to use his arm strength to try to.
I would say
that's when mistakes happen.
If I had to pick him, no. If I had to pick one, my least favorite would probably be Bruce Weber, I suppose. I would say my least favorite football coach is probably... And X was open. Least favorite football coach would probably be... Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Gundy. 12 yards. I was going to kick it.
They'll line up for the field goal, and this is nothing more than a chip shot. Kicks up,
Ooh,
and he's got it.
They gave up a field goal here.
Least
That
favorite
defense is
football
feeling pretty
coach.
good about
Well, it would have been
themselves
Tom
right now.
Herman, but
It
he's
could
fired
just as
now.
easily been a touchdown.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one because I'll just say Gundy because I don't think there's another better option. Tom Herman was easily the most hateable, and then before Dana Holgerson left, he was probably up there. But now, I mean, Neil Brown's a good guy. Chris Kleiman seems like a good enough guy. I have no opinion on Matt Wells, really. Gary Patterson's a good guy. Steve Sarkisian seems like an okay guy. Lincoln Riley's good. I have no opinion on Dave Aranda.
They'll take over here, ready to start a new series.
So I guess Gundy. I respect Gundy though. I still respect Gundy quite a bit. I think he's still a really good coach.
Quick throw.
Just obviously kind of a character at times.
At the 38-yard line.
OU and ISU are clearly the best two teams in the league. Who's going to be third, OSU or Texas? I don't think either of them. I think TCU is probably going to be third. It could be Texas. I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in them at this point in time. I really think the Oklahoma State's probably going to take a step back. They lost some really good playmakers. They lost the second best running back in school history and one of the best wide receivers in school history. Maybe the best wide receiver in school history. I don't know. I'm not sold on them. They were disappointing last year, and they lost a bunch. So I mean, maybe Spencer Sanders is a lot better, but I don't have a lot of faith in that. But I think TCU's got a lot of really good young. They got a lot of good young talent coming back. That's got to be Edgeworth. Yep. Okay. And Max Duggan could be really good. That defense is going to be pretty good. I think they've got some good playmakers. Overall, teams that people are sleeping on.
From the 46-yard
Underrated
line.
teams nationally. Well, I think one team that's going to be, I want to say slept on, but maybe underrated a bit to a certain degree is actually probably going to be Oklahoma. I think they're going to be recognized as like the favorite for the conference. But I don't think people realize how good they're going to be. I think they're a very, very real national title contender. TCU is very underrated, I think.
We've played one quarter. The Bears lead it 10-3.
I don't know. I don't know if there's anybody in the ACC that really gets me excited. I think Oregon they could have a bounce back season. Which is funny because they went to the Fiesta Bowl, but I think they shouldn't have been in the Fiesta Bowl. I mean, they shouldn't have even been in the Pac-12 title game.
At the 41-yard line.
This defensive end just showed us why he's much more than just a pass
Yeah, I don't know.
rusher.
Those are probably the main ones, I suppose.
Third and 5. Ball on the 41.
Yeah, Max Duggan can be really good if he can become a more consistent thrower. Coastal Carolina, I don't know. I wasn't sold on them. I wasn't really sold on them last year. How about that thread and that needle there to Charlie Kohler? I wasn't sold on them last year. I mean,
just by the nose of the football.
I don't know. I didn't really care about Coastal Carolina very much. I think they may be good again this year. I think they have most of their people back. They may be good again this year, but I mean, I think they're more of a flash in the pan than anything. I don't see them being like a long-term competitive option or anything like that. Tariq Milton is open.
Looking for his man.
Or at Xavier? That's Xavier.
The junior makes
Oh,
the catch.
baby. Touchdown.
Big play.
Just like that, we're back in the game.
They'll line up for the extra point in an attempt to tie the game. He makes the PAT. A 4-play, 47-yard drive. And that's good for a touchdown. The kicker looks like
Thoughts on Iowa State's going from a feel-good story this year to being ganged up on multiple fan bases. You know, it's a weird thing. Like, I kind of love it because people don't start hating on you until they're scared of you. Like, nobody hates on the underdogs because they know that they can whip their ass. But now we're gonna start feeling some hate from other fan bases because they're afraid of us. Our last year with Coastal Carolina and Cincinnati, I mean, whatever. I mean, I'm not here for any of that.
If you're in the negative in the turnover department,
I think
your chances of winning
Coastal Carolina losing that game, I think, kind of proved, in my opinion, I think that.
Play action throws the defense just
I wouldn't say it proved that they were overrated, but like it, I don't know. Put a bit of a damper on it for me. Or they should have lost that game, I should say. That last game versus Louisiana. It's interesting because the funny thing though is I'm also kind of the guy that wants. I'm kind of the guy that wants people to like us. Like, it's gonna be kind of hard to explain. But I'm the kind of person that wants people to like us, and I don't want them to have any reason to not like us, unless it is purely just because we're good and they're just whining about it. If it is purely just that, then that's fine. But I mean, there's nothing you can do about that besides lose, which is not an option. But I don't want to have any reason for anybody to not like us other than the fact that we are really good. Alabama's kind of like that. People just understand Alabama's Alabama, and that's just what it is. And the only reason anybody dislikes Alabama is because they're really good at everything. And I'd like to be there. I don't want to be, I don't want to be Notre Dame where people just hate us because there's like some pretentious stuff there. I don't want to be, I don't know. I don't want to be anybody else. Indiana was I thought Indiana was horrifically overrated for most of the season. I did not see anything. Like, Indiana's claim to fame last season, their claim to fame was they almost beat Penn State or Ohio State. That was their claim to fame, was they almost beat somebody. If your claim to fame is you had a good loss, are you really actually that good of a team? I mean, it's fun to talk about Indiana being good because they're not ordinarily very good. But at the same time, I mean, they didn't play anybody. And it's just, I got nothing for them. I got no time for Indiana.
Here's the 8th play of the series.
Drone, you got to pick that off.
Close to making a big play.
His safety is kicking himself.
That'd have been a pick six. I'll run that again.
From the 46-yard line, it's 2nd down. And he carries the ball for a nice
drug
gain.
Mike Rose for like 5 yards. That was a bit unrealistic. I'm gonna run man again.
10th play of the drive.
I'm gonna press him this time. Tavon Kyle, let's go. Stay in bounds. There we go. No way. Ah, fuck you, Charlie Brewer.
I like this corner's ability to read the play. He shows very good football smarts and pretty good hands too.
Can we blow out Iowa this year? We can. It's at home. I think Iowa is horrifically overrated going into the season. I don't think they've got a quarterback situation worth talking about. That's going to be intercepted because everyone just undercuts everything.
Really nice coverage shown.
I think Spencer Petras is okay. I think they lost one of the best defensive tackles in the country. They lost their only good tight end. They're going to be really young. I don't see Iowa being a top 15 team next year. At the beginning of the season when they play Iowa State, they've very well may be a top 15 team because they're going to be ranked preseason. They're probably going to win their first
He's
game.
taken down for a loss.
He was never able to get ahead of steam on that carry.
But I think Iowa State is better than Iowa at almost every position, including on the lines. Maybe not except for their center. I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but is really, really good. And that individual matchup with any, they probably have the advantage there. But I think Iowa State's got an advantage most other places on the field. So I mean, it's Cyhawk, so it's not going to be a blowout. It's going to be a shit show, but it is what it is. Where would you rank Campbell on a scale of top college football coaches right now overall? Obviously, Saban's number one, but I'm wondering where your thoughts on where else you would consider as a better coach. I think Dabo's probably I would consider Dabo Swinney a better coach. Ryan Day's up there. He's got, he's still young, still got a lot to prove, but from what we've seen, the early returns from Ryan Day are really good. I don't know if I'd say he's better necessarily, but he's maybe more accomplished at this point in his career. God damn it. Tavon.
The 10, and he's shot out of bounds at about the 5-yard line.
I would say, I think he's top 10. I mean, Kirby Smart's pretty good. I think he's a really good recruiter. I don't know about his X's and O's as much, but Kirby Smart's up there. Lincoln Riley is up there, obviously. I would say I could, if I sat down and think about it, I could probably find 5 that would I consider better than Matt Campbell. I don't know if I could think of 10 though. I would really struggle to think of 10. I think there's a couple obvious ones, but beyond that, there's not that much.
Halfback's got it on the quick throw. He's taken down just outside the goal line. Picks up about 5 yards on that hookup.
Yeah, he's top 10, somewhere between 5 and 10, I would say. Which I think is perfectly fair, just given what he's done. I know if you asked anybody in the Big 12 if they couldn't have Lincoln Riley, who would they take second? They would take Matt
second and
Campbell.
goal. Ball on the 1. Defense and their short yardage package.
Get down. Here we go. Do I think Texas A&M should have been in the instead of Notre Dame or maybe some other team? I don't know. Whoever was going to be in that, I think Notre Dame probably put up the best fight that anybody was gonna. The game was probably a lot closer than I think a lot of people thought it was gonna. Be. I don't know if I'd say they deserve to be in. Kind of surprised me they weren't. Let's call it timeout. Especially if they're going to be in goal line. For some reason, I was thinking they would try to pass it there, but that's silly. They're not going to pass it.
This is where the defense makes a name for themselves. It's 3rd down and goal from the 1.
Oh, and now they're in freaking shotgun. So there's no way
they
to
got
pass
to
it.
him before he could get back to the line. The Cyclones call it.
We're going to take a timeout just so we can have as much time as possible.
Good job by the defense to overpower the offensive line and drop the back for a loss.
I know that was kind of a non-answer on the Texas A&M question.
Could take the lead with this field goal.
I mean, Texas A&M's claim to fame, their claim to fame was they played Alabama closer than anybody else. Otherwise, their wins were over a bunch of teams that nobody cares about. So their resume was not that much better than Indiana's. So I would say Notre Dame probably deserved to be there.
It's fielded at the 2.
At
the 29. The day has not gone very well for this young man.
Well, he's definitely dug his team into the hole with those 3 picks. Let's see if he can make a play and somehow get his team back in this.
3 first-half picks versus Baylor. It's meant to be.
Momentum swings have been fairly even. And with so little separation, this game can be drastically changed on just 1 or 2 plays. And he's tackled after positive yardage.
That's a gain of 6 on the play.
Gonna run some hurry up.
On the ball, on the ball. Hustle back, hustle back. Ready, 180, 180.
Oh, we got some wonky stuff going on here. Sean Shaw. Oh, it's Stephen Hutchinson.
Around the 39-yard line.
That's good for a gain of 4 yards. First down.
Really wish he wouldn't have stopped there. If he would have just kept going, at the end of his route, he'd have been wide open. Sean Shaw, Xavier Hutchinson. Might hit Xavier on that curl. Nope, just kidding. Dylan Sainer.
Completes it, but he can't shake the defense.
What's your favorite in-person fan experience as a Cyclone you've ever? Oof, man, that's a tough one. Well, Oklahoma State 2011 is going to be up there forever. That's kind of a no-brainer. Sean Shaw. Yes. There we go. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. Oh, he's tired. He's so tired.
Right around the 6-yard line. Iowa State's calling their final timeout.
Well, I tell you, these guys have some skill players who can make
that one's way up there.
They picked up an enormous amount of real estate.
The Naslong's buzzer beater versus Oklahoma State. But is also right up there. That was a really great. That was a really good one. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. The Texas walk-off field goal. West Virginia in 2018 was a really good one. Man, there's too many. I think I'm going to say 2011 Oklahoma State, and I think that's going to be my final answer, but I don't know. Free touchdown. There we go. Do I think we're undefeated going into the Oklahoma game? I think if you beat Iowa, I think there's a really good shot. You beat Iowa, and because you don't have TCU till the last game of the season. Trying to think who you've all got. You got Oklahoma State at home. That'll probably be a tough one. That's probably that's another tough one. You got Texas at home. That could be a tough one. It may not be. We don't know yet. That's probably the second toughest game. But it's at home in November. Once you get past Iowa, the schedule is fairly easy to open up. You get past Iowa and you get to 5-0 pretty easily. Oakland, then you beat Oklahoma State. You're at 6-0, and you've got a couple games in there, other games in there you can win. I don't. Man, I don't.
That could eventually catch up to them.
If you beat Iowa, I would feel like you're in a really good shape to be 9-0 going in, or no, be 10-0. Going into that Oklahoma game.
Game that's this close, you can't afford to waste possession.
TCU game 2017 is a good poll. That's another really good one. That's another really good one that I was at. Had a lot of fun at that one. I would probably put 2018 West Virginia ahead of that one, just because that was the first time we really got a feel for Juicy Wiggle, night game, kind of the dancing cell phone lights. It's a really good one, and just a complete ass whooping. It was great.
It's second down, and they're about 2 yards away from the sticks.
So I think there's a good shot. Iowa State will be favored, in my opinion. Assuming everything kind of goes as we think it's going to go, Iowa State should be favored in basically every game this season except the Oklahoma game. We'll see what TCU like, because they play TCU at home though. If Iowa State wins every game they're favored in this year, they'll be 11-1. Put it that way.
They'll spread the field with 5 wide. He's going to try and scramble. And he's taken
Charlie Brewer.
Around the 33-yard line.
I don't have a way to stop the clock, so it's not going to, but that's okay.
On that scramble.
That'll make it 4th and 2.
I would really doubt that they punt this. Well, we've clawed our way to a 17-13 halftime score.
We've played a half of football. Iowa State in front, 17-13. He kicks it off, and he got all of that one.
Got a couple people saying Texas last year for best fan experience. I wasn't at the stadium, so I guess I can't. I guess I can't personally attest to that one, but that was pretty good. Final Four prediction. What are some surprising teams this season? I think Gonzaga is pretty much a shoe-in for the Final Four. I think Baylor is less of a shoe-in, but I think Baylor probably makes it.
As usual, I don't think they need to feel any anxiety about trailing.
Other Final Four teams. See, I don't know. After those two, there's a gap. That's tough, and to be completely frank, I haven't paid as much attention to the rest of the college football or the college basketball landscape as I ordinarily do, partially because Iowa State sucks, and partially because I think this basketball season is kind of lame. There's almost no star power outside of Jalen Suggs. It's kind of a bummer.
He scrambled.
Kind of is what it is.
And down he goes.
How do I feel about Texas new quarterback Tyler Shuck? I think he can be really good. That's probably if there's ever a good place for Tyler Shuck to land schematically, that's probably it. I don't know if he's got the skill players around him to be as good as he could be at Oregon with a good scheme. That's a screen and I blew it. Oh, they gave him the first down? That's lame.
That gave the quarterback enough time to find his
I think
for a nice game.
if they give him some help and they give him a good scheme, Tyler Shuck could be really good at Texas Tech. What do I have to do to get a tractor as an award for as the trophy for Farmageddon? First thing you have to do is you have to convince the schools to care enough about Farmageddon to put a trophy into it. With everything going on right now, I think it would be very unlikely. You'd have one. It's definitely not happening unless someone donates a tractor. Definitely not happening unless someone donates a tractor. Beyond that, I don't think either school is particularly motivated to try to turn it into a bigger thing than it is currently. I think they're pretty happy with just having it as it's Farmageddon, it's fun, it's an ag rivalry, is what it is. But they're not going to blow. I don't think there's a lot of motivation from either school to turn it into anything more. And now there's another hiccup in the whole process too, because if anybody remembers, at the beginning of last season, we were going to try to do something with the Farmageddon trophy and try to turn it into something and get one going. Anthony Johnson, you dropped it.
The offense really had
but we ran into a hurdle because a chemicals company from Kansas, I shouldn't say chemical. They're kind of just I'm trying to think what their equivalent up here would be. Kind of a chemical company. They do a bunch of different stuff. I'm not sure why I'm in coverage. Let's have Lawrence White return it. They actually filed for a trademark on the phrase Farmageddon, which is a gigantic bummer. So they actually own the rights to a Farmageddon trophy, which sucks so much. So now, without the schools getting express permission from it, is Lawrence White hurt? Without getting express permission from them, the universities technically couldn't have a Farmageddon trophy because they don't own the rights to it anymore. Who's your least favorite play Iowa State has ever played against? I'll go first, Aaron Craft. Aaron Craft is way up there. I really, really don't like Aaron Craft. Least favorite player, Trae Young was pretty annoying to play against just because of all the hubbub around him. He was pretty annoying. That I not like playing against. For basketball, Aaron Craft is way up there for basketball. For football, I don't think there's any specific player that I just really couldn't stand playing in football.
Second down, 10 to go. On the 11-yard line. The Cyclones saw one of their key guys go down earlier, but it looks like he might be able to get back in the action.
I wonder if Xavier can beat that coverage. Oh, he did, but I don't know if I can throw it on the run that well.
Pressure. He's going to go for the home run. Can't pull it in.
Damn it.
That brings up 3rd and 10.
I will just sub in Detroit Young. It's fine. What QB do you think the Jets pick? Or they take another chance on Darnold and get a playmaker? I don't know. I'm inclined to believe the Jets will keep. I'm inclined to think that the Jets will try Sam Darnold and maybe take
from their own 11-yard line.
See, I don't know if there's a playmaker up there at the top of the draft though that can really satisfy what they're looking for. I think Xavier Hutchinson's going to be open again on this. And he is, but it's going to get undercut. Oh, damn. Okay.
Hutchinson was the intended receiver on that pass, and they're going to have to bring on the punt.
I think we can get this. I want to go for it.
On that play, the quarterback just wasn't able to find any open receivers.
I suppose if they're going to take a quarterback, I would guess From what I'm seeing, it sounds like they'll probably take the kid from BYU. Can't remember. Perry Ellis. Perry Ellis is that's a good one. Charlie's up there. Yeah, he is. Keep going. Perry Ellis is a good one. Actually, one guy that I did not like playing against. Well, I don't know. I didn't like. We only played against him once, but Joel Embiid was kind of a nightmare to play against. I didn't necessarily didn't like him necessarily. I don't know if I would say I just didn't like him, but he was just really good, and you just didn't like having to play against him.
Makes it out to about the 39.
I will tell you my favorite player that I have two players that I actually really enjoyed watching that weren't from Iowa State, that even though we had to play against them and it sucked to play against them, that I really, really respected them so much that I just couldn't. You can't not enjoy watching the play. One, first and foremost, is Buddy Hield. Loved watching Buddy Hield. He deserves every bit of respect that he gets. Second one is kind of a little bit of an older pick, but Pierre Jackson played for Baylor. He was a point guard. That dude was quick as a cat. He made everything. Man, I really loved watching Pierre Jackson play. Really, really good player. I hated Cole McCoy. 9-7 at Nebraska on the road with all those turnovers. Classic. Jerome Tiller at quarterback.
10 yards to go. Ball on the 48-yard line.
I think Dolphins get a wide receiver or a different position. Who do they take, Smith or? I think if you're there, you take. Man, it's tough. Jamar Chase is probably the better prospect in my opinion, just because he's got a better body. Man, Devontae Smith is really good. He's one of the best receivers we've ever seen at the college level. I don't know if you can pass up that opportunity. You kind of got to just ignore the fact that he's only 175 pounds and you just go with it. Nobody could guard Devontae Smith in his entire career. But the NFL's got better cover guys than the SEC does. So, Ryan Spangler is a great pull. I hated Ryan Spangler. That dude sucks. I hate that guy. Ryan Spangler is going to be my final answer.
From the 28-yard line.
Great pull by Blake Price there. Tavon Austin was. I still remember the first time the only time Iowa State really had to play against him. He is still the fastest human being I've ever seen in person. Tavon Austin was just crazy. Man, I could watch Tavon Austin play football all day. Love watching Tavon Austin play football. Great pull.
At the 30-yard line.
If these defenders continue to exploit the O-line like that, it's going to be a long day for this running back.
And again,
now there's the ISO Poco. Had some good success with that. But we're going to do this. I think we're going to send Shaw on a slant. Charlie's open.
And he's tackled right away.
This is the second time on this drive alone that the defense has stopped him on first, second, and third down, only to give it up on the fourth down.
Here's the 12th play of the drive. He gets to about the 5.
That's good for a gain of 8.
Ooh, that's a good one. Jeff Withey from Kansas. That guy is also a gigantic tool. Couldn't stand that guy. Jeff Withey is a great pull.
So it's second down and about 2 yards.
One guy I hated playing, not because he was a douche, but because he was just really, really annoying to play against, was Rico Gathers from Baylor. Man, that guy was annoying.
Scrambling. Here comes the pressure.
We're in for the touchdown. Three-point shooter on Oklahoma State felt like it was there for Keaton Page. You're thinking Keaton Page and Phil Forte. And it felt like they were there for 20 years because they seemed like the same person.
And he hits the PAT. Let's throw it out to Reese now for a studio update.
The Golden Gophers enter today's game ranked 9th in the country. And for Minnesota, they put together a solid drive capped by a scoring run.
They line up to kick this one away.
Barnes deep to return.
He just drills this one. This one's going to be down to the end zone for a touchback. Iowa State's continuing to play extremely tough defense. This has been
Marcus Smart was another good one.
To watch them play with such an
Couldn't stand that guy.
chip on their shoulder with the energy that I think it's going to require that kind of effort. To be
I had another guy in my head.
Some sense of urgency to this offense right now. They don't have the luxury of wasting drives if they want to get back in the game. And he carries the ball for a nice gain. And that'll bring this third quarter to a close. 24-13, Cyclone.
Well, I appreciate your sub. I appreciate your sub, Julie. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce your name. I don't know.
All right,
sometimes I'm bad at that.
To start action here again in the fourth quarter. That's it complete over the middle.
Right there, I could have jumped it and I didn't.
Around the 34-yard line.
I think he could have taken a risk.
Yeah, I'm calling. Yeah,
field, but he played
I'm
it
calling
safe
bullshit
instead,
on
and
Connor
that's
Sally's
the key to
kick
winning
power in
ball
this
game.
game sometimes.
Short yardage
His
situation
field goal
here.
kick power is
3rd and 1.
accurate, but man, he kicks it way further on kickoffs.
He gets out to about the 35-yard line.
A good one, another good one that I'm thinking of that I really didn't like playing against. He's kind of an older one, but Rodney Magruder. Rodney Magruder from Kansas State. Didn't like playing against him. Yeah, Rico Gathers. That guy pissed me off. Isaiah Cousins is another one from Oklahoma. It wasn't like necessarily that great, but
That's a great
I don't know. It seemed like he always just did annoying stuff. If you're not just going sticking with the Big 12, I think Adam Woodbury is a very hateable player. Jordan Bohannon feels obvious. It almost feels too Jordan Bohannon probably feels too obvious.
Fires that quickly, incomplete.
Just an incredibly hateable player.
Throws quick to the receiver and it falls incomplete.
Holmes was the intended receiver on the play. That brings up 3rd and 10.
3rd down, and they need to get it inside the 48.
What do you think about Doncic over Luka Doncic over Damian Lillard? Ooh, you got to pick that off. Doncic over Lillard. Do you think Lillard should have been a starter? I think Luka Doncic is objectively the better player. I mean, Damian Lillard is really good, but man, Luka is just a generational talent. I think right now he's definitely a top 10 player in the league. Probably just sneaking in there for just getting ready to sneak in there for top 5.
He makes it out to maybe the 33-yard line.
Man, Luka's really good. Damian Lillard, if he was going to be an all-star, if Damian Lillard was going to be an all-star, he needed to do it earlier in his career. There's too many good young players. There's too many good young point guards in the league right now. De'Aaron Fox is really starting to come on this year, and then his running mate, Tyrese Halliburton, is probably going to be an all-star very soon. I think sooner than maybe we all expected him to.
And he's level at the 45-yard line.
You've got to play with that kind of purpose.
Oh, Jared Utah. Yeah, Jared Utah. Aaron White. Yep, all those guys. Very hateable.
From their own 45-yard line.
Another good one. The kid played at Iowa, but he's from Wahlert. Dubuque Wahlert. He was injured before 2 years ago. 3 years ago? 2 years ago. And then he came back for one game and then immediately went back out for the season. I can't remember his name right now. He transferred, though. I think he transferred to Virginia Tech, maybe. Didn't Trae Young not even make the reserves? Yeah, Trae Young wasn't even an all-star reserve.
So an empty backfield with 5 wide receivers.
Right there.
Fires out to his receiver, and he tackles him hard at the 41.
Number 3 brings him down at the 41-yard line. First down.
Pencil, yes, Cordell Pencil. That guy was a dick.
First down. Catches it, and he's looking for more. Brought down right around the 26-yard line.
Number 8 makes the tackle at the 26-yard line. First down.
Check. Regular.
Now he tries to buy some time. Tough throw on the run. And
bam, touchdown.
Touchdown, Cyclones.
Javon Felix, yeah. That's a good pull.
He splits the uprights with the extra point. Reese Davis is standing by with this update.
Still upset Iowa State couldn't get Harrison Barnes. The thing with Harrison Barnes, he will always be a member of the Iowa State team that never was. Where you get Harrison Barnes, where your team is Melvin Edgem. Your team is Melvin Edgem, Will Clyburn, Harrison Barnes, Doug McDermott, Royce White,
At the 25-yard line, the Cyclones have a defense that's a sight
Tyrus
to behold.
McGee, Chris Allen,
They are all over the field. The defensive line
Chris
knows
Babb,
their job. The linebackers, the safeties, the corners.
and
everybody plays as one, and they've been fun to watch today.
somebody. Rookie of the Year.
The quarterback leads the offense
For NBA
back
Rookie of
out
the
onto
Year,
field,
the
and
deal
he
is that
gets it to
LaMelo
his
Ball
own
is going to
play.
win it, but Tyrese Halliburton deserves to win it. Tyrese Halliburton is a better player than LaMelo Ball.
Gets it on the
Which is.
inside. Tackled and a decent pickup.
Favorite class I took at ISU? This is a good one. Good personal question. Favorite class I took at Iowa State? That's a good one. So I was a construction engineering major. That's what my degree is in. For my favorite, I'll say, okay, so my favorite degree,
2nd and 5 on the 30.
my favorite class within my degree, I will say was construction scheduling. It's it's a senior level class. And it's something that I do quite a bit now. I mean, I'm an estimator. I'm a construction estimator for my job right now, so I do some very similar things. So I enjoyed that one. That was probably my favorite class within my major. Overall class, if you're not going to count kinesiology classes, because I took volleyball a couple different times, my other favorite class was probably Psych 240. Developmental psychology. Really enjoyed that one. Learned a lot in that one because it's a totally different ball game than anything I was studying in engineering. I mean, like I took accounting 284, I think is what it was. Oh God, the one time I pick a damn punt return play, they're going for it. That guy's open. Yeah.
Pulls down the catch, and he's got room here. They'll bring him down at the 45.
When a defense coordinator has this big a lead and he sees his defense
Yeah,
give up
some,
a big play like this, he's livid. He's very frustrated because that's a lack of focus from the defense.
Yeah, I would say Psych 240 is probably my favorite one. I took accounting 284. I was pretty good at it. It was a really easy class for me. It's just math basically. It's not really any different than what I was already doing. Or Psych 280. It's either Psych 240 or Psych 280. One of those is developmental psychology. I think maybe it is Psych. It's either Psych 240 or 280. I think it's 240 though. Whichever one developmental psychology is, that's the one that I really, really enjoyed. Learned quite a lot in that one. It was a great combo of I didn't have to study all day and night to understand it. But I still learned a lot and really enjoyed learning in that class. So it was a great combo. Didn't have to work at it that hard and learned a lot. Perfect combination. Class I thought that I was going to like a lot more than I did was Music 105, I think. Because I'm a music person, I played drums. I just bought a second guitar. There's a piano sitting right here. I'm a music person. And okay, so it's 240 then. So it's like 240. So if 280 was social psychology. But anyways, I'm a music person. I thought Music 105 or Music 104 or 105 or whatever it is was going to be easier. I thought I was going to enjoy it more. I enjoyed it a little bit. I got introduced to some new kinds of music. But the tests for that class were really the tests were really like unnecessarily technical. I don't know if it's the right word, but like a test question, the answer for a test question would come out of like the caption of a picture. It was really, really annoying. It was like unnecessarily complicated. Let's see, Connie. Oh, he's also got another Connie. Good. It's the best kind of engineering. Mechanical electrical systems, cool. I was a heavy highway Connie, so I didn't actually take either of those classes. So I took stuff like trucks and tractors and concrete mix design and stuff like that. But favorite dining hall at ISU.
Well, it's one thing to have speed.
Okay,
it's
so
another thing to have an idea of what you're doing.
I'm gonna go ahead
right now,
because I lived in Friley. Oh, damn, Chase Allen is open. Oh, terrible throw! What the hell? Because I lived in Friley for 2 years. I'm gonna say the UDCC. I really like the UDCC. So when I was there, it was the UDCC, then Seasons, and I think Conversations had only been open for a year or two. I think I only went there maybe a handful of times. It just wasn't close to any of my classes. And none of the other ones existed yet. So I think there's new ones now. But Xavier is going to be open, but it's going to be intercepted. Oh, man.
There's one the quarterback would like to rewind because
but of the ones that existed while I was there, so UDCC, Seasons, Conversations, UDCC was my favorite one.
Third and 10. Ball on the 23-yard line. Throws it into
Son of a
coverage, and it's
bitch.
intercepted.
I thought he was going to break outside.
To the 10. Touchdown, Bears.
That was a totally unnecessary pass.
Well, they're going to try for the two-point conversion. He's got it for two.
They got it.
So with less than 2 to go.
Assuming they'll go for the onside here.
31-21, Iowa State.
Oh, no.
The football, and they're only down 2 scores.
Come on.
I thought they were out of this football game, but they're really starting to make this game interesting.
This game really going to do this to me? Sean Shaw doesn't come up with that? Come on.
So we're just about ready to return
Nonsense.
to action.
Mike 34, Mike 34. Scoot. Green 9. Blue 4.
He flings it.
Gotta have it. Come on.
Boy, a golden opportunity missed by the defense. That was a short
MJ or
interception
LeBron.
only to be dropped.
That conversation I've had 1,000 times. I think everybody's had it 1,000 times. Just depends on how you define it.
Less than 2 minutes in the
Championships, is it stats, is it whatever? I don't know. You can make a case for either of them. I think you got to appreciate both of them individually for who they are. I think if you spend too much time trying to figure out if which one's better than the other, you're just gonna miss out on how good both of them are and how LeBron somehow seems to be getting better.
Catches it, and that's all.
Who's your favorite Cyclone basketball and football player of all time? Got to say Faisal Niang or Edgem, then Jeremy Reeves. Jeremy Reeves is a great one. That's someone that most people would never, ever think of to say. But Jeremy Reeves is a good one. Okay, so favorite basketball player of all time. I'm going to go... You know, it's funny. I'm almost half tempted to say Tyrese Halliburton, even though he played for one team that was underachieved, that won a Big 12 tournament but underachieved, and the other one was only played half another season. I'm tempted to say Tyrese just because of how fun he was to watch. But I'm going to take the cop-out answer. I'm going to say George. Favorite football player, Todd Blythe is a great one. Todd Blythe was kind of who I grew up idolizing a little bit.
First and goal from the 5. They're knocking on the door.
Todd Blythe is a good one. I was just old enough to just kind of catch Seneca Wallace. I didn't watch him a ton, and we didn't go to games when I was younger. God damn it, they got there. We didn't really go to games when I was younger, so I didn't get to see him in person.
Late in the fourth quarter, one possession game.
So,
this is where poise really takes over. Whoever shows it will win the football game. Trying to get within a field goal. They'll try to.
I'm gonna say Dave Montgomery is my favorite Iowa State football player. He just ran so hard. He was everything you could possibly ask for in a running back. That was Dave Montgomery. I mean,
because you're so proficient at throwing the ball.
Just perfection. Just a perfect college running back.
And he's taken down at the
Couldn't ask for anything more. Jeremy Reeves is a great one, though. I have not heard someone say Jeremy Reeves before. It's a really good one. I appreciate that. Maybe another one that people don't think of as much.
They've got an opportunity right now if they score.
I mean, well, I don't know. Probably Leonard Johnson's a good one that I always really appreciated. Actually, one guy. You know what? I am gonna say one that people wouldn't think of. Because he didn't get as many carries as I thought he would. I thought he was underutilized. One guy I always really enjoyed watching was Chantrell Johnson. I thought he ran super hard. He was quick. He was agile. I mean, I always thought that he should have gotten more carries than he did.
Nice gain as he works to the right side.
Some missiles on kind of kicks are used. But I like Petway. Yeah, Michael Petway is a good one. Petway is he's just a really good receiver. We had him on the podcast right when he got here. Let's go. Alvin Bowen's a great one. That's a good one. Yeah, Michael Petway is a really good dude. He's just a good, solid football player. He was exactly kind of what Iowa State. Oh, here we go. He's kind of exactly what Iowa State needed at the time.
And he's taken down the 13-yard line. Baylor will use their final timeout.
That's a good one. For young kids, if they really liked Michael Petway, the young kids, I would totally respect and understand that.
Blocks and allowing the ball carrier to almost break it there.
Honestly, I'm just going to keep running read options. They don't seem super interested in stopping them.
And they hit him in the backfield.
And the defense here all maintained their assignments and didn't get fooled at all by the option.
I think they are going to be running some sort of man or a blitz here, maybe. And I was right, but I didn't catch it.
Have you ever heard of sportsmanship? You've got
Deshaunte Jones is a good one.
Still throwing the football. Boy, this
Coleccio Semele is a good one. It's hard to say he's my favorite player because it's hard to watch offensive linemen in the game. But I don't know. I sort of touched on this earlier. You think Prohm is still the head coach next year? I do not.
Now he's scrambling. He's under pressure.
Unnecessary pass, but that's fine. That's a win, though. Unnecessary close. Probably should have been 17 points instead of 3, but I threw a dumbass pick 6.
Very well played by both teams today.
That's right.
31-28.
Because we've got another dub. That's what matters. Who do you think is going to get drafted first of the Iowa State players in the draft? So the ones that are in the draft are the main 3 would be Kane, Dylan Sainer, and Jaquan Bailey. I think if I was guessing, unless Kane has a really good camp and combine, I would guess that Jaquan Bailey is the only one with a real shot at getting drafted. So I'll say Jaquan Bailey. Dylan Sainer's tough because, I mean, his what he can do is valuable, but it's not a position it's not a guy you're gonna draft probably. I would say there is a chance though with Kanae's speed that if he has some good pro days, runs a good 40, there's a chance he gets picked up late as kind of a specialist, like a returner or something along those lines. There's a chance he gets picked up for something like that, I think. But I think Jaquan's probably really the only one that's got a real shot at getting drafted. Talking about football, but who do you got for MVP and MIP? NBA MVP. I don't even know. I'd probably say. Wish if Luka was on a better team, I'd say it's no doubt Luka Doncic, but probably. And then there could be an argument made for Steph. Maybe LeBron. I'm not sure. Do you think Iowa State will beat Oklahoma State this year, or do they fall short like last year? I think they'll get them this year. I know Oklahoma State usually has a good game plan for Iowa State. They usually give them a lot of problems. But I think Oklahoma State's down. I think Iowa State is up. They're at home. They get them at home with a full crowd this time around. I think Jesse Warren, I think that's the new guy I just gave a scholarship to like last week. Then Will Hicks, that's a good pickup. But I think Iowa State will get them. I definitely think Iowa State will get Oklahoma State next year. I think they'll be favored by a touchdown or two going in. Probably a touchdown, maybe 10 points going into that game. And I think they'll take care of it without too much issue. Let's see. So we did get a couple commitments there. Check those guys out. Still doing really good on that defensive tackle. Doing good on the defensive end. Doing okay on the outside linebacker. Would like to be better, but wonder if Iowa just had a visit. Iowa did just have a visit. Or wait. Or they're going to have a visit. Something like that. Still in the hunt there. Not really in the hunt there. I'm probably going to take him off. Got to go enjoy the stream. Thank you, Julie, for checking in. You had a lot of good questions. Feel free. We do this every Thursday. Generally speaking, obviously it's Wednesday now. Generally speaking, do it on Thursdays. But just keep an eye out for it. Wednesday or Thursday, we'll do one of these, and we'll have more stuff coming up. From Zach Edmondson, favorite ISU coach in basketball and football. Favorite Iowa State basketball coach is probably got to be Fred. I wasn't alive for Johnny Orr, but so I'll say Fred. Football is easily Matt Campbell. I grew up with Dan McCarney, but I mean he's second place. But I mean it's Matt Campbell and a huge gap, and then everybody else. I mean. If you're talking assistant coaches, I'm personally current assistant coaches for a more interesting conversation on the football side. Nate Schielas. Big Nate Schielas guy right here. NCAA Basketball 10. I don't know. I used to have a copy of that laying around, but I don't know where it is. I'll have to dig around to see if I can still find that. Let's see here. Still got the lead on both of those tight ends, even though we don't really need them, but... You think Hakeem has any kind of so Hakeem Butler is who he's talking about. Hakeem Butler has any kind of future in the NFL? He does if he tries to reinvent himself as a tight end. As a receiver, no. If he tries to reinvent himself as a tight end, put on some weight, try to improve his blocking a little bit, then he's got a chance. As a receiver, I don't think so. Screw it. Let's go after the punter. We're going to steal this guy from Kansas. Anybody else here I care about? We're not going to get him. Anybody here like grossly underrated? So we got Mark Wright, 4-star halfback, 4-star receiver, 3-star safety. Can't believe we lost out on that middle linebacker to Wyoming. Crazy. Good stream tonight. Thank you, Zach, for tuning in. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Every week we're gonna be here doing this, and especially once we get to the off season, maybe start doing twice a week. I'm more than happy to do Q&A during any of this, whether you got Iowa State questions, you've got questions for me personally, or you got questions about wide right, like the site at all, any of that stuff. More than happy to answer all those questions. So yeah, keep an eye out through the next few weeks as basketball season winds down. Still going to keep it to probably just once a week, but once we get to the off season when there's nothing going on, probably go to 2 times a week, and maybe once in a while sneak in like a long Saturday or something like that. Like if it's, some Saturday in April where there's nothing going on but the weather's crappy, maybe just pull like a 6 or 8 hour stream and just play through like most of the season or something along those lines. So everybody, thank you for tuning in once again to our college football revamped dynasty. Currently sitting at 6-0. I believe we're still number 3 in the country. Yep, still number 3 in the country. Got Oklahoma State this week, and I believe so next week when we play 2 more games, we'll play Oklahoma State, and we will play, let's find out who the other game is. Kansas State. So we got Oklahoma State and Farmageddon next week. So that should be that'll be a good week to catch. So we'll probably shoot for Thursday. I would say we'll definitely shoot for Thursday again, probably around 8 o'clock or so. Unless I would say as a basketball game that day. If I would say as a basketball game that day, we'll do Wednesday. But otherwise, thank you everybody for tuning in. Hope to see you guys all again next week, and we'll see you more in the off season. Like I said, if anybody that caught earlier in the stream, Matthias Schwarzkopf and I had a meeting earlier tonight, doing kind of a planning meeting for some new YouTube content, for more like weekly YouTube content, not just gaming streams, but actual like content. I can't spoil it too much. But I think you guys are really, really gonna like it. So everybody, thank you for watching. We'll catch you again next time.